Happy Tuesday. It's May 4th, Star Wars Day. In May, we observe Mental Health Awareness Month and Women's Health Month. So, of course, we're going to talk about Carrie Fisher as one of our mental health advocates. We will be hearing more about these things in a little bit. Before we talk about our upcoming events, though, I would like to talk a little bit about a topic that is pretty important to me. Tomorrow, May 5th, is World Maternal Mental Health Day. It's a day where we acknowledge and raise awareness to mental health struggles that people experience after delivery. As many as 1 in 5 people struggle with mental health symptoms after delivering a baby, and this can happen anytime in the 12 months after. It's important to understand I'm not just talking about postpartum depression, but postpartum anxiety or psychosis are also things that can happen. Sometimes these symptoms can include mood swings, crying spells, difficulty sleeping. I know, new baby, hard time sleeping. But this is where you actually have an opportunity to sleep and you're not able to fall asleep, or where you're sleeping and you're maybe sleeping a little too much. We're also talking about anxiety that can affect the way a person engages with others or a child. And sometimes this has an effect on a person's ability to do daily tasks. This goes well beyond baby blues that everybody talks about. If these things are not sitting well for you or someone you know, reach out. Maternal mental health is important. See, it's hard to take care of that new baby or family or home when struggling with a mental health condition that can be treated. So join us tomorrow to raise awareness. Follow the link below to learn more. Now, I want to hear about our upcoming events from none other than Ashley. Ewok Ashley.
It's Ewok Ashley here to support the Rebels in sharing the upcoming events.
Well, I'm excited to hear.
All right, so what do we have upcoming? If you're looking, should I hold this? I'm going to set this down. If you are looking to better understand yourself and your recovery journey, our peer-to-peer class is a great fit for you. It is taught by trained leaders with lived experience with mental health conditions and is a safe space for mutual support and growth. Our most recent class just started on Monday, and there's still time to join. And we're going to be meeting again this Wednesday, May 5th, so we'd love if you could join us. Registration is also now open for the PreBurn, which is our virtual 5K and t-shirt campaign in honor of Mental Health Awareness Month. What's the history behind the name PreBurn? Well, it's our lead-in to our annual fall event, the Afterburn. PreBurn, Afterburn, you get it? The PreBurn is a great opportunity to engage in physical activity and raise awareness about mental health. The 5K can be completed over one session or multiple, and all modes of activity are welcome. Lace up your shoes, pump up the tires in your bike, or dust off your dancing shoes. All activity is welcome, and a special shout out to the crew organizing dance sessions to complete the PreBurn. To support the PreBurn, you can either participate in the 5K, purchase the Mental Health Awareness Month t-shirt, or donate. 5K registration is open till May 21st. T-shirt sales and donations can be made through June 30th. Our next education series is on Wednesday, May 19th. The event features a presentation on stable accounts, which is a tax-free saving plan for disability-related expenses. People living with a mental health condition are eligible for this program. We will also be joined by an attorney to provide education on estate planning and other methods to plan for your or your loved one's financial future. In June, we're starting our NEP Wellness Recovery Action Plan class. During the class, you build your own wellness toolbox customized to your personal recovery journey. Also, you'll learn how to identify when things seem to be off balance and how to get back to feeling like your best self, including pre- and post-crisis planning. As a final reminder, throughout the month, we host support groups for families, peers, parents, and caregivers. Coming up tomorrow and every Wednesday is NAMI Connection support group from 12 to 1:30. Also Monday and Fridays every week from 1 to 2, we have our check-in calls. We'd love to have you tomorrow for NAMI Connection. Those are your upcoming events from the Ewok Village.
Ichiwama, or wow, in Ewok knees. Thanks, Ashley. Did you know Carrie Fisher was a mental health advocate? Well, maybe you do now. Bree's going to share more with us. Hey, Bree, or Princess Leia. It's like looking at a younger self.
I'm glad to see I finally moved my way up in the ranks, you know? Like Jessica said, I'm going to be talking a little bit about Carrie Fisher. And while she was the most widely known for her role as Princess Leia in Star Wars, she also served as a strong advocate for mental health due to her personal struggles with bipolar disorder after being diagnosed in early adulthood. Living with a mental illness can be exhausting, and Carrie's experience with bipolar disorder was no different. Carrie once described her manic periods to the Los Angeles Times as feeling like her mind's been having a party all night long, and she's the last person to arrive, and now she has to clean up the mess. In her 2008 memoir, Wishful Drinking, Fisher writes about why she opted to try electroconvulsive therapy, or ECT, a still stigmatized, though highly effective treatment for some individuals with depression. Her honesty in disclosing that she has had therapy at all, as well as her frank take on its side effects and benefits, helped shed a more nuanced light on treatment. In a blog post from NAMI National, an individual who shares a diagnosis of bipolar disorder describes what she has learned from Carrie Fisher. Here is one of the highlights from this article. Carrie Fisher taught me that it was okay to express my true feelings. It's because of her that I speak and write honestly about my condition, even when I don't quite understand it myself. This honesty has been imperative to her recovery. The writer of the blog post also acknowledges that Carrie Fisher used her celebrity status and talent for the greater good of the mental health community, and that thankfully, this selfless act was celebrated while she was still alive. If you would like to read the entire blog post, there is a link to it in the comments of this video. Back to you, Jessica.
Thank you, and I really appreciate you sharing Carrie's story, Bree.
Of course.
Sorry, I was choking on some spit. You ever have that happen?
Yeah, that's the worst. So sorry.
So, I think it's important to share our stories because there may be others that can relate to your story. Women's Mental Health Month is observed in May, as is Mental Health Awareness Month. We are going to share different famous mental health advocates that are women all month. Courtney is going to talk about these two topics next. Oh, hi, Chewy.
It's Courtney. All right. So each May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and in observance, this includes conversations and discussions about how common mental health conditions are. In fact, 1 in 5 adults experience mental illness each year. But did you know that more than 1 in 5 women in the U.S. experience a mental health condition just in the past year alone? And this includes depression and anxiety. Many mental health conditions, such as depression and bipolar disorder, affect women differently than men and can affect them in many different ways. So, for example, the onset of bipolar disorder tends to occur later in life for women than men. And often, women have a seasonal pattern of mood disturbance and can experience depressive episodes, mixed mania, and rapid cycling more often than men. It's important to note, too, that a mental health condition is not the result of just one event. Genetics, environment, and lifestyle can influence whether someone develops a mental health condition. A stressful job or home life can make some people more susceptible, as do traumatic events. Biochemical processes and circuits and basic brain structure can also play a role in this. But most of all, this does not mean that you or your family members are to blame for you having a mental health condition. Mental illness is no one's fault. And for many people, recovery, including meaningful roles in social life and work and school, this is possible, especially when you start treatment early, and this can play a strong role in your recovery process. So if you're experiencing a change in thoughts or behaviors or mood, and it's interfering with your work and relationship for more than 2 weeks, it is possible that you could have a mental health condition. It can be difficult to tell if you have a mental health condition if you're feeling sadness, anxiety, or other intense emotions most of the time. But some symptoms to keep in mind could include extreme anxiety most of the time, feelings of hopelessness about everything, or drug and/or alcohol use. So if you're in any doubt about your mental health, you can reach out to your doctor or a nurse, a mental health professional, or a trusted loved one for help. NAMI Wood County wants you to know that recovery is possible. So if you're looking for mental health services, you can dial 211 and be connected.
Lastly, if you are in crisis service, you can call the Wood County Crisis Line, which you'll see scrolling below. That number is 419-502-4673, or you can text the crisis text line to 741-741. All right, that's all for Did You Know? Back to you.
Thank you for the information, and remember, it's not wise to upset a Wookiee. Shari is sharing self-care tips in our self-care corner. I guess it makes sense we have our own Yoda talking about self-care. Hi.
Hi. Self-care you seek? Yoda will now speak. Be mindful, a Jedi must have the deepest commitment and most serious. Stop focusing on the negative. Do or do not. There is no try. You are not psychic. Quit trying to predict your fate. Difficult to see. Always in motion is the future. Who is in charge of your future? Oh, right, it's you. Your path you must decide. Learn to let go. Worrying about what we can't control is wasted time and energy. The greatest teacher, failure is. The difference between a master and a beginner, the master had failed more than the beginner has tried. Be patient, take a break, and try to relax. Life has a way of working out. There is no greater gift than a generous heart. And now back to the galaxy, and may the 4th be with you.
Great tips today, Yoda. Thanks for joining us today, everybody. Have a good week, and may the 4th be with you.